Hi guys, welcome to this session. I am Anish Gupta, the founder of National Law Training Institute and currently in my final year at the National Law School Bangalore. So we had a lot of queries coming in that Anish, you guys give mentorship to NLSAT aspirants, but at least tell us what cracking NLSAT entails. क्या जो लोग NLSAT क्लियर कर रहे हैं या जो NLS से 3 ईयर LL.B कर रहे हैं उनकी प्लेसमेंट लग रही है, अगर उनकी प्लेसमेंट लग रही है तो कहाँ लग रही है और अगर कहीं प्लेसमेंट लग रही है तो कितने का पैकेज मिल रहा है. So we had a lot of issues regarding the placement and higher education opportunities that NLSAT entails. So in this video we'll be discussing everything in detail from placements to packages to higher education. We will see what all recruiters come to NLS to hire from the 3-year LL.B cohort, what is the average package looking like, and what are the other opportunities to pursue higher education or pursue something that interests you after you have done your 3-year LL.B from the National Law School Bangalore. So I'll give you a brief overview of the placements from this season. So it is important to note that this was only this year that the first batch of the 3-year LL.B cohort graduated from the National Law School Bangalore. तो NLSAT शुरू हुआ था 2022 में, जो फर्स्ट बैच ग्रेजुएट हुआ है वो 2025 में. तो ये जो नंबर्स है आर स्ट्रिक्टली बेस्ड ऑन द प्लेसमेंट सिनेरियो ऑफ द करंट बैच हु हैज रिसेंटली ग्रेजुएटेड इन May 2025. तो द एवरेज पैकेज, इफ आई टेल यू, एवरेज पैकेज is the package that we arrive at after we calculate the highest paid package as well as the lowest paid package and the median and the average packages that firms have been offering. So the average package this year that NLS students after clearing their 3-year LL.B have bagged is around 18 lakhs per annum. So around 1.5 lakhs per month is the average package that the 3-year LL.B batch is currently looking at. The highest package went up to 22 lakhs. This is an interesting story that one of the students from the 3-year LL.B cohort bagged 5 offers on day 0, that is the placement day, from 5 tier 1 law firms. There are 5 tier 1 law firms that we will be discussing in detail, and there's this one person who got 5 offers, 1 offer from each of the top 5 law firms. So this was an interesting concept. This was an interesting scenario that took place in the day 0 this year कि एक बच्चे को सारी firms ने offer दे दिया था, firms that people actually desire that they want to apply for and get into and get selected in the day 0. तो एक बच्चे को 5 offers मिले थे, and this is definitely not unprecedented but something that is very rare. तो हुआ कहाँ है placements हुई है law firms में, corporations में, judiciary में, and others have decided to pursue either civil services or judiciary or go into other avenues that we'll be discussing in the next few slides. What are the trending sectors? I've told you that the average package this year looks around 18 lakhs per annum. But what are the emerging sectors where people are getting hired for? So these sectors are newly emerging, but these sectors have great scope of growth. So if you are interested in any of these in any of these sectors and you are interested in doing your law from the National Law School Bangalore, let me tell you, mate, that you have a very bright future, because these are the 4 sectors which are expanding very heavily and are definitely hiring a lot more candidates than other sectors that are generally more conventional and traditional. So the sectors that I'm talking about are fintech and banking law, the technology and data privacy. TMT is a field that is emerging with new regulations coming in every year, and the number of users registered on internet increasing by day and day. Technology and data privacy is a field that is emerging and is very lucrative going forward. Then we have tax, ESG and sustainability law. With people getting more and more aware, there's an increased focus on sustainability. So we have seen a lot of firms hire for these practice areas concerning tax law. ESG stands for environmental, social governance and sustainability law. And international arbitration, you must have been made aware during your NLSAT preparation that international arbitration is a field that is emerging very quickly and is expanding very rapidly with new arbitration centers coming up in India. We are right now directly trying to give a tough time to Singapore, which has established itself as a hub for arbitration. So India is definitely expanding in the arbitration hub, and with India are expanding these firms who are hiring more and more people for international arbitration practices. Now we look at the top recruiters. Top recruiters will be big law firms, corporate legal teams, and international firms. So who are hiring NLSIU graduates? We have firms like Cyril Amarchand Mangaldas. You must have heard the name of CAM. We have AZB and Partners. We have Khatan and Company. We have JSA, Trilegal, Shardul Amarchand Mangaldas, that is SAM. So these are the top 5-6 tier 1 law firms that generally everyone talks about, and every law student, be from NLSIU or from any other law school, aspires to get hired or selected in. So these are the top 5 to 6 law firms that have definitely hired this year as well, and a lot of students are actually placed this year from the NLSIU 3-year LL.B cohort in these big law firms. Then we have corporate legal teams. There are two types of practices, let me tell you. One is the corporate job in conventional big law firms, and then there comes the in-house practice, in-house legal counsel that are hired by big corporations like Reliance Industries, Tata Group, HDFC Bank, and Mitsubishi. So these are the companies that generally come to NLSIU to hire fresh law associates, fresh law graduates for the role of in-house counsels. And then we have international firms as well who come to India. Unfortunately, this year there was no hiring that was done by international law firms from the 3-year LL.B cohort. There were definitely more than 5 hires this year from the 5-year BLLB program from the NLSIU. More than 5 students were hired by these international law firms, but none from the 3-year LL.B cohort. But definitely we expect the times to change going forward, since this was the first batch of the LL.B cohort graduating this year. International law firms might be wary of hiring these students, but going forward, although there is uncertainty, but we can be hopeful that even international law firms will start hiring people from the 3-year LL.B cohort. So just to give you a brief overview, these are international law firms like Linklaters, Alumni, and HSF, who come to India, who come to traditionally the top 3 or 4 law schools like NLSIU, Nalsar, NLU Jodhpur, NUJS Kolkata, and Gandhinagar, and Jindal as well. These firms come to these 4, 5, 6 best law schools of the country and take at least 2 to 3 people for their practices, specifically in England. Now, actual true numbers. This is a slide that I'm sure most of you were waiting for. कि भाई तुमने मुझे प्लेसमेंट बता दिया, तुमने मुझे बता दिया कि कौन हायर कर रहा है, बट एक्चुअली में ये बताओ कि कितने लोग प्लेस हो रहे हैं. तो लेट मी टेल यू कि कितने लोग इस साल प्लेस हुए हैं, एंड दीज आर ऑनेस्ट ट्रू नंबर्स. वी आर नॉट making up these numbers just to increase our enrollments. Some students might insinuate that, but that is really not the case. This is the actual figure that we have collected from the student representatives of the 3-year LL.B cohort. So these are genuine figures, and you can definitely rely upon these figures to make your decision of whether you want to join the 3-year LL.B cohort or whether you want to give NLSAT or not. So actual true numbers. Coming to this year's actual true numbers, कितने लोग place हुए, कितने लोग place नहीं हुए. So there was a batch of 45 students. Since NLSAT started in 2022, there was not a lot of interest. Consequently, not all seats were filled. Out of the 60 advertised seats, around only 45 to 50 seats were filled through NLSAT 2022. Consequently, only 45 students were there in the batch that recently graduated, the NLSIU 2022 to 2025 3-year LL.B batch, the batch which first appeared for NLSAT in 2022. So let me tell you the complete figures for this batch. Batch of 45 students were there in the total batch. Students seeking placement, around 28 students. Out of 45 students, only 28 students were seeking placements in corporate law firms or otherwise. The remaining 17 students either opted for judiciary, or they opted for UPSC, or they opted for higher education. From the 28 students that were actually seeking recruitment from the college, and so coming to the final number that you guys must be eager for. So out of these 28 students who were seeking placement, we have around 21 students who were actually placed. So 7 students are still seeking recruitment, or these 7 students are now looking for other alternate opportunities like judiciary, UPSC, or even setting up their own litigation chambers or pursuing higher education. So 45 students were there in total. Out of those 45 students, 28 students were actively seeking recruitment. They were in the recruitment coordination committee that facilitates recruitment on day 0, day 1 and on rolling basis. Out of the 28 students who were seeking placement, around 21 students have been successfully placed. So the figures that I told you earlier, 18 lakh, 22 lakh, so these 21 students have an average salary of 18 lakhs per annum, and these 21 students have been successfully placed in top legal firms and in roles of in-house counsels. So 21 students have been placed. So 7 students are still seeking recruitment. Definitely we can expect some of them to get placed before the new year starts in the law firms, that is around July, mid or August starting. So NLS is still facilitating recruitment for them. There are firms coming in on rolling basis. There are think tanks coming on rolling basis. So we expect these 7 students to also get placed. But I think this slide will give you an idea of how the placements are looking at. Just to repeat, 45 students were there, out of which only 28 were seeking placement. 17 students either opted for higher education or UPSC or civil services, or they want or judiciary, or they want to set up their own litigation practice or join a litigation chamber or work under a senior advocate or become a law clerk. So these are the other opportunities that people have been pursuing and not looking for placements that are facilitated by NLS. So 21 students have been successfully placed, and 7 are still seeking recruitment who might get placed or who might not get placed in the next 1 month. So again, you all are new to NLSAT, you don't know what corporate legal firm trajectory looks like. Okay Anish, तुमने मुझे बता दिया कि 18 लाख का पैकेज मेरा स्टार्टिंग में लगा है, बट ग्रोथ कितनी है? 18 लाख, मैं कितने साल तक 18 लाख पे रहूँगा? अगर मैं अभी स्टार्ट करता हूँ तो मुझे कितना टाइम लगेगा टू एक्चुअली स्टार्ट मेकिंग अ डिसेंट लिविंग और अ रिस्पेक्टेबल लिविंग, or something that I can boast of, or something that I can be proud of, or something that I can look forward to when I am preparing for NLSAT. So let me tell you the trajectory. So right now these legal firms have hired you for the position of associate. So if you give NLSAT 2026 and if you graduate in NLSAT as NLS batch of 2029, so when you get hired by these law firms, you will be offered a position of associate. So I'm sure you must have seen suits. So Mike Ross, you must have seen the title also there. Mike Ross was the associate. So similar to that, you will also get the title of associate when you are hired by these law firms. So you will be an associate in the very starting. But the trajectory after that is interesting. Around after 3 years. So after 3 years, you will be given the designation of a senior associate. So after 3 years from associate, you will become senior associate, and another after 3 years, you will be given the title of a principal associate. So some firms differ on this title of principal associate. Some firms like Cyril Amarchand Mangaldas and Shardul Amarchand Mangaldas, Sam and Cam you talk about, these firms do give the title of or the position of principal associate, but some other firms like AZB and Partners do not give the position of principal associate, and from senior associate you directly jump to partner. However, that is not the case in Cyril and Shardul Amarchand Mangaldas. After 3 years, after 3 years, you will become partner. So Mike Ross was the senior associate, Mike Ross was the associate, Harvey Specter was the partner. So after 9 years, you will become a partner at your law firms. This is the general tendency that we have observed in these law firm hirings. This by no means is written in stone that after 9 years you will make partner. It can be after 7 years also, based on your fire or your work or your passion towards work, and it can be even more like 11 or 12 years if you are not that eager, or if this is something that does not interest you. So this is a general trajectory. After around 9 years from senior associate, you will become a partner, and your salary will start looking upwards of 1 crore per year. So that is the average trajectory that a lot of associates, after they get hired from the National Law School Bangalore, experience. And in in-house counsels, you will start as a legal counsel, then you will become a deputy general manager, and the ultimate goal here is general counsel. So why do people prefer a role in corporate law firms and not in-house legal counsels? Firstly, your experience here will get restricted. The scope of transactions that are coming to you are similar in nature. For example, if you are an in-house counsel working in Indigo, all your transactions, all your work will revolve around aviation law. But here, if you are an associate in, let's say, a big law firm like Trilegal, and you are an associate in the general corporate team, your work will be very diverse, and your work will range from X to A to Z. So it is very diverse, and that is why people prefer corporate law firms over in-house roles. And secondly, the scope here of growth is actually a lot higher than in-house counsels. If you can see, you can end as a general counsel, and here you can end as a partner. The salary of a partner is way more than what a general counsel might be making in normal circumstances or in Indian circumstances. So the scope here in corporate law firm jobs are a lot higher than what the scope is in the in-house legal roles. What are the other opportunities that you can follow or you can pursue after NLS? So I told you, out of 45, 28, only 28 sat for placements. So where did the 17 remaining go? Judiciary, civil services, higher education, and litigation. So here we will talk about what does higher education entail. So a lot of students went to pursue their LLM. So you will be doing your LL.B from National Law School in your 3 years. After that, you can do your 1 year LLM. And where all you can do your LLMs? From domestic options like LLM from national universities. You can very well join back the National Law School Bangalore for your LLM, or you can go to Ivy League colleges like Harvard, Oxford, Cambridge, NYU, Stanford, King's College, and you can pursue your specializations in corporate law, constitutional law, international law, arbitration law, whichever area of law interests you after you have spent your 3 years at the National Law School Bangalore. What else? So this year, very interestingly, a lot of students are actually going to pursue their MBA programs also. So if you are something who has always had a knack for entrepreneurship or business is in your blood, you can actually consider MBA programs as well, wherein you can give CAT or GMAT or other MBA or other such exams and get into IIMs, ISBs, FMS with a legal background. So interestingly, the cutoff for CAT and other exams also drop significantly because of your experience in the law degree. So the cutoff is generally varies a lot if you belong to a engineering background or if you belong to a law background. So it is comparatively easier for law graduates to get into good colleges for MBA. So these are the two options that a lot of students are pursuing this year. Either they are going for LLM or they are opting for MBA. So now that is it from this session. Let me tell you our exceptional performance in NLSAT 2025. Around 55 students. Yes, you heard that right. There are only 120 seats in NLS for the 3-year LL.B cohort. And out of those 120 seats, 55 students are from NLTI. Imagine every second person in the cohort is an NLTI student who were enrolled with us either for our mock test series or for our full flagship course. So if you are someone who is preparing for NLSAT 2026, this slide is for you. We have done it. We have done it thrice now in the past. We are the leading institute for NLSAT preparation in India right now. No other institute comes close to us when it comes to NLSAT preparation and NLSAT's success. You can see for yourself, 8 out of top 10 ranks in NLSAT 2025 are from the National Law Training Institute. This is something we take pride in. This is something that we boast of, and this is something that we are very proud of, because no other institute has done it and can ever do it till NLTI is there to help you in your NLSAT preparation. So that is it from this session. We have already started our course for NLSAT 2026. If you are interested in enrolling, reach out to us. You can visit our website, clatnlti.com, or you can fill our counseling page again on our website, or you can directly call on the given numbers. So thank you so much for this session. I hope we were able to help you, and I hope these placement figures will help you make an informed decision going forward. And if you have any doubts, feel free to comment down below, and our team will definitely reach out to you. Placements अच्छे हैं. This is a personal note from my end. Placements अच्छे हैं, but since this is only the first batch that is graduating, we can't be sure. Going forward, the numbers might increase. So take everything with a pinch of salt. But what you should not take with a pinch of salt is that all these figures are accurate. These figures have been taken from student representatives of the National Law School Bangalore 3-year LL.B cohort, people who gave NLSAT 2022, people who just graduated, and they know the deep realities that nobody else could ever know. So these figures are accurate. 45 students sat for placements. 45 students total batch, 28 students sat for placement. Out of those 28, at around 20, 21 have already received their placement offers. So that's it from this session. We will continue bringing in more such informational content for you, and feel free to reach out to us in case of any doubts, and we look forward to teaching you. Thank you.